We do have Peter with pretty good saturation everywhere. These Mutalisks aren't able to do a whole lot of damage to his enemy's main. I think he could, though. I think he's just not choosing to, mainly because Peter is playing the campaign with all of these missile turrets everywhere. He does have a lot of missile turrets up, actually, and he's just getting more and more and more. And we have 3 Hellions defending this third, but if those Mutalisks really wanted to, they could probably swoop in and kill that third without much of an issue. And we do have the planetary fortress over here is going to be safe because of the Thor that's there. But I think that really those Mutalisks should start trying to snipe off this command center instead of going for the third that has the siege line and the Thors near it. We do have a lot of factories. What's the factory count at right now? It's at 6. He's going up to 6 factories, and he's actually getting the structure armor. Let's see, he also got the increased range for the planetary fortress and the missile turret, and I think it would be really funny if you got the Neo Steel frame, which makes bunkers the coolest unit in the game. And heatRoy just is going insane with his upgrades. He has +2 ground armor and +2 ground melee, so I'd expect to see some sort of Ultralisk play coming out of him once this hive, which is at his natural, finishes. He also has a lot of money built up, and he's getting up to 6 bases right now. He's going for Neural Parasite. He's going for +2 flyer attacks. This is a pretty good situation for our Zerg player, and I think he might actually be able to completely snipe this planetary. He's at least going to get a lot of worker kills, actually. He's up to 7 workers, 11 workers killed with that last volley, and I think he's actually backing off, and I think that's a bit of a blunder. I think the best move for him right there would have just been to take the Mutalisks lost and just deny the 4th. Because that would take his Terran down to 2 mining bases in a couple minutes. As soon as this 30 seconds, once these mineral patches dry up, he's going to be down to 2 mining bases, and that's not really even that much of a mining base anymore. And as we do have the planetary finally getting repaired, but I definitely think he could have finished off that planetary. I mean, he's still at 6 base to 4 base. He's still 2 bases up, but if he was at 2 base to 6 base, he would basically have the game won right there. And he is going for Greater Spire, which is a great thing to do in this situation when you're already reasonably far ahead. As I set myself to busy to try to avoid my friends spamming me as soon as I reconnected to Battle.net. But yeah, we do have 6 bases out of the Zerg, and this is it's pretty major for the Zerg to do some damage right now, because the Terran 3 base is a pretty strong economy, especially if he's going for such heavy Thor numbers. And is the 3-3 almost done for the Thors? Actually, he's not doing that awesome on upgrades considering he has a double armory down. I'm surprised he's going for ship weapons, believe it or not, because ship weapons aren't the greatest idea in a situation like this, because battle cruisers are meh at best versus Mutalisks, and at worst, which is what he's basically at right now, they're just going to get absolutely destroyed. And we do have 5 SCVs accompanying the push up here, but these Hellions are going to get destroyed by this spine crawler wall. And here comes the Zerg army, and it's actually moving back, swinging away, which I think is the right choice right there. We do have 4 Broodlords popping up, so this army is about to get a lot more potent as soon as these Broodlords pop. Also, he's maxed, and he's at 4,000, 2,000 already. He could absolutely demolish this push, and then just push into the Terran base and win the game. And Hellions are getting a really good position, actually, at the top of that ramp, roasting a lot of Zerglings and Banelings. But eventually they do go down, and again, that doesn't really matter to Zerg. He's on 5 bases right now. I'm still surprised that he has these Mutalisks just, AFK up here. He actually manages to stop that command center without getting the cancel off, so that's 300 resources that were just lost for Terran, and so many resources are tied up into these Thors, and Thors are pretty hard countered by Zerglings, Banelings, and Infestors. Roach Infestor is a great composition, and he does have a lot of roaches, and wow, that was completely one-sided for the Zerg, really. He lost all of his Zerglings, of course, but he manages to keep both of his Infestors and all of his Broodlords alive, and those were the bulk of the cost for his army, was in these Broodlords. We do have Vikings coming out four at a time from Terran, so these Broodlords aren't going to be that much of an issue anymore. But Zerg doesn't care; he's going for 6 Ultralisks at a time, because why not? And these Broodlings are actually going to be pretty scary too, because they're 3/3 Broodlings. And we do have 10 Banelings morphing in, but 6 Ultralisks. 6 Ultralisks is pretty ridiculous. And what 19 Larvistoid, 18 Larvistoid, 13 Larvistoid. Zerg is basically in the position where he can just say, you know what, wipe out my entire army and I will just flood you with Zerglings and win the game. I think that is his general strategy right now, as these Mutalisks do fly in and pick off actually quite a few workers. He is now up to 24 workers killed, so he's probably killed around 13 with that attack. But these Mutalisks are going to go down pretty handily to these Vikings. Plus this missile turret that's just sitting here. And Terran is finally going to try to go for a 5th. But I think the Zerg is just so far ahead right now. This chitinous plating is a bit late. I'm not sure if he forgot about it. But, you know, you want to get chitinous plating as you start your first batch of Ultralisks. You know, I'm not really going to fault him that bad for it, though. Because, you know, not a whole lot of people go for Ultralisks. And these Ultralisks are already 3/3. So they're going to absolutely demolish what is essentially just armored units from these Terran players. Because he has, you know, the backbone of his army at least was Thor's, so it was definitely a good decision to go to Ultralisks. And it does look like we have the Zerg, and he's about to try to move up, maybe. I think that these factories are just going to get absolutely demolished in this next engagement, and we do have the Broodlords poking their head out, but there's so many Vikings right here where I don't think the Broodlords are going to play any sort of major thing, and those tanks were actually unsieged. Not the cleanest play from the Terran, and his army is going to get torn to bits, actually. The Zerg army is going down pretty significantly fast as well, but that doesn't matter to the Zerg. The Zerg is already making 15 Ultralisks, everybody. Wow. I think that's my cue to speed up the game for the end, so that I can try my best to keep this under 15 minutes, as there are 14 more Ultralisks popping out, which will bring his grand total to 17 Ultralisks. That's over 100 food tied up into Ultralisks. It's actually almost 150 food, really. And that's a lot of Ultralisks. I think this is the definition of an A-move army, as he's just going to, you know, really quickly sweep in with these Ultralisks and absolutely demolish his enemy. So anyway, guys, this has been Boisterous bringing you this game. If you guys want to check out more Boisterous action, head on over to youtube.com/user/boisteroussc2. If you guys want me to commentate your games, send them on into boisteroussc2@gmail.com. I do not judge based on what ranking you are in your league or what league you are. I will cast games from any league, any melee game mode, even including FFAs. So if you're team leagues, you just did an awesome custom game with your friend that was a melee map and it used Blizzard settings preferably, I will choose maps that don't quite use Blizzard settings on a case-by-case basis, but I prefer them to use Blizzard settings. And you can also post any of your feedback or anything that you think I should be doing differently over at my Battle.net thread, and the link will be in the video description if you guys want to follow it and post it in there. So anyway, guys, this is Boisterous, signing out.